Welcome to the final installment of the organic adventure. So we're going to break down for you in just 1 second what our results have been over the 4 weeks we ate organic. And even more than that, why should they stay till the end of the video, baby?
Because we're going to talk about the next thing we're going to do.
The next adventure, and I think it's even better. Okay, here we go.
Join us.
That was perfect. Okay, check this out. We are done 4 weeks of our organic experiment. So we're basically going to hit you with the good, the bad, and the ugly, what we noticed, how we felt, what we liked, what we didn't like, any struggles we had. But baby, let's get right into it.
Okay.
The number one thing, what happened to our bodies? So physically, how we look, our measurements, our body weight, all that kind of stuff. What happened to you over 4 weeks? Where did you end up body weight wise?
Down 8 pounds.
Huh?
Measurements were all moving in the direction that I wanted them to. So I think I was down 3 inches on my waist.
She was.
Legs were up an inch. Everything else stayed the same, which is good because I wasn't looking to shrink those things.
Right. Okay. So we let you look at the progress pictures right now for Carrie. Basically what you're seeing is she's down 8 pounds. Her legs are up, which was a priority for her, growing her thighs. Those are up an inch. Waist is down 3. And everything else you can kind of see has gotten a lot tighter. Like when I look at your pictures, like things look tighter. Your shoulders look leaner. Your arms look leaner. Even though the measurements haven't changed a ton in those areas, they look different to me. Like I can see the difference in your body.
Yes.
Okay. For me, I am down 11 pounds, which, again, I say this all the time, has not been the plan. I'm not trying to lose weight, but I'm down 11 pounds, and that's on slightly more calories than I started this program with, which is the same for you.
Yeah, the last, was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, we had the calories up.
Yeah, up the calories because, like I said, I wasn't doing this for a weight loss thing and was a bit nervous about the scale continuing to drop.
Yeah, so I did the same thing. Calories went up a little bit. I ended up down 11 pounds, and I think my pictures look pretty good. I think it's indicative of the progress
they look different.
I made. So I ended up putting almost an inch on my chest, a quarter inch on each of my arms, lost an inch and a half in my waist, and then put, I think, a half inch on my butt and a half inch on my thighs, while losing 11 pounds. So I'd say broad stroke in terms of our physical development, the amount of weight we lost with the amount of muscle we built in the areas we cared about blew me away. But what do you think?
Yeah, the body recomp, if you want to call it that, to me was shocking. Because again, I didn't expect to see those results. I was more going into this thinking I would feel differently with the foods that I was eating. And I wasn't doing this as a body recomp or a weight loss thing. I was looking to feel more optimally healthy.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the first videos we did on this, we kept our calories the same, our grams of protein, grams of carbs, grams of fat, exercise routine the same, water the same, sleep the same, everything the same. And just switching it to organic, lost 8 and 11 pounds and built muscle while we did that.
Which is great. Like, that's the goal.
Yeah, it's bananas. It's bananas. This blew up. When we did our final measurements and looked at these, I was stunned with both of us and the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was a positive.
Yeah, that's a plus. That's a plus. How have you felt eating this way?
So that was originally my motivating factor for getting into this. I was not feeling good after I ate. It didn't matter what I ate. And we talked a little bit in one of the other episodes. My appetite came back, which is, again, one of the reasons I ended up increasing the calories because I was actually feeling hungry. So that feeling for me of always being full or always feeling bloated, even though I knew like I wasn't, or I needed to eat, disappeared.
Cool. Okay. What else did you notice?
For me, sleep, and I have a hectic schedule, and I'm up typically pretty early in the morning, but I was waking up before my alarm and ready to go, like not wanting to hit snooze and roll over and try and grab another 15 minutes. I was usually awake 15 to 20 minutes before the alarm went off and out of bed, ready to go.
Cool. Anything else?
Well, the last one you actually pointed out to me, which is a little more embarrassing, but my stomach makes noise. And when it's noisy. My students in class will hear it. If I've had a massage, the massage therapist hears it. I've had my eyebrows waxed, they hear it. And it's not, I don't feel bad. It's not because I feel hungry, but whether I've eaten or not, my stomach, it talked a lot. And
it didn't have anything nice to say. It sounded a little bit angry.
It did, but it wasn't like I said, I didn't feel bad. I'm like, maybe I ate something I didn't like, but it was never associated with bad feelings. But it was embarrassing. I was super self-conscious about it. And I think it was by the second week, you're like, hey, you know what I haven't heard in a long time? I was like, no, what? And it was my stomach.
Yeah, for real. That disappeared quick. It was wild.
Yeah.
Because your stomach would sound like it was angry. That why did you put food in me? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And by the second week, it really started to disappear, and that really carried on
the
throughout.
Whole time. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So how I felt was not nearly as different as Carrie. I came into this feeling really good. I've been to a place where I'm eating 10,000 calories a day and feeling bad all the time. So eating more like a normal human being generally feels pretty good for me. The only things I really noticed, my energy was, and I think I'm a relatively energetic person.
Yes.
But I felt really even energy wise all day long, and I slept deeper. I'm not a huge fan of sleeping. I don't like having to go to sleep. I resent that.
He doesn't get tired.
That's right. That's the mantra.
Statement.
That is the mantra.
Mm-hmm.
So I resent having to go to sleep, but I found when I was sleeping, I was sleeping deeper, and I felt like I was getting more out of it, which was definitely a cool feeling.
Especially because that's where the recovery happens.
Which might be a piece of these
True.
Results that we were seeing. Okay, in the gym, how did you feel? Because we were losing a lot of weight, 8 pounds on Carrie's frame in 4 weeks is a ton. 11 pounds on my frame is not nothing.
Not little. And for me, my experience always, again, because it's been associated with prep, food is going down, weight is dropping, and energy is tanking. And I'm lifting less. I'm doing less reps. I'm lifting lighter weights, but that didn't happen. We said this once before, but reps went up or weights went up. Workouts were solid.
Really, really solid. I felt great for 99% of the workouts we did. In terms of how pumped I'd feel or how my weights moved. It was
good.
Yeah. I felt like I was performing more optimally. Okay. Next, what were the not so good parts of this? If you were about to do this and we were sitting down in front of you, what are we going to tell them?
It costs more. There's no getting around that. But like we've said before, there's, I think, ways that you can consider that being offset. We had no takeout. We had no Starbucks runs. We had no junk food. Not that we really ate any, but there was none of those indulgences.
Yeah, we missed our weekly Italian restaurant
Cheat meal.
takeout, the bottle of wine. But yeah, for real, the cost is definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's not. If someone tells you it doesn't cost more to eat organic, that's not the truth. They're pricier, and some things not by much, and other things like the beef we're buying substantially more expensive.
Yeah, I'd say we on average hit about 30% more in terms of what our groceries cost us. Now, in terms of what that did to our bodies, I would happily pay 30% more.
Yeah.
To have better energy, sleep better, have a quieter tummy, and lose fat and build muscle.
Rude.
I feel like it's nice for you, not for me.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind when
That's
it's
not
off.
how that sounded.
That's how I meant it.
Okay.
But for real, I would take this as an investment we made in us that paid off.
Yes.
I think when I consider the amount people spend on diet pills or bunk weight loss programs
Or supplements even.
or supplements, to burn off 11 pounds while building more muscle in the areas I wanted it, or for you to burn off 8 pounds while building more muscle in the area you wanted it for 30% more in food.
And still eating the exact same food. The meals didn't change. It was literally just a swap out. So it wasn't, I never felt deprived, I was on a diet, which I felt deprived before. But it wasn't all of a sudden I'm on this very strict meal plan diet and losing weight, I was eating the same thing.
Things we're going into this.
Every day.
100%. Okay, so that's one thing. Next thing that I noticed, super important to have everything prepared. There are not quick options for organic. 2 months ago, if I was in a bind, didn't have food prepped, I'd hit a diner downtown and do a steak and eggs. Like, I loved it. Hit a steak and eggs, boom, great meal, I'm good to go. Eating organic, not an option.
No, they're really, and we looked that up too, like research where there's some organic restaurants in the area or places, because there isn't. And again, I understand you can grab fruit and there's organic products. You grabbed a muffin the one day, but it's inconvenient if you don't have food ready.
Completely. So the prep is another big thing. And the last thing was really just the convenience of shopping for food. We go to multiple places. There's certain things we struggle to find.
This week it was raspberries. Like nobody had organic berries at all.
And not even raspberries, which are the best of all berries.
That's debatable, but besides the point. So you do have to get used to multiple stops. So that would be, it's part of the convenience factor. We're hitting 2 or 3 places. And for me, which is not new to you, but shopping multiple times a week was new.
100%. Okay. Any funny observations, things you noticed outside of obviously how we felt, how we looked? Anything stand out over the last 4 weeks?
Your reaction to some of the produce we were buying. So I had to explain, organic food, one is smaller, like the organic apples in Craig's hand more look like a raspberry.
A golf ball. They look like a golf ball, maybe.
And he had a hard time. We were trying to pick up some peppers or something. He kept looking at it and putting them down. And these aren't good. I'm like, it just has a blemish on it. But it has a blemish on it because it hasn't been sprayed with anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to pick anything that's bad. But it doesn't look perfect. When you see those shiny apples or pears or whatever, they look perfect for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. And the other thing I noticed, and we talked about this with red peppers and other foods, legit organic food just tastes different. And I might get really swept into that. Like when I start eating something and I'm like, whoa, this tastes that, like this must be extra healthy. And maybe it isn't, maybe it isn't. I can't extrapolate that out to exactly what it means, but I know it when I taste it.
You ate a red pepper.
Right. But if you give me regular blueberries and organic blueberries, you'd know the difference.
You can.
You can do a blind taste test and you'd know. And that is freaky. It freaks me out still.
Yeah. Yeah. You would be able to determine which blueberries taste better, and that would be in alignment with which ones were organic.
Legit. If you had a steak, it was a grass-fed steak or a corn-fed steak, or depending on the farm, a candy-fed steak. And that's for real. But if you tasted them both, if you cooked them both, cut them both.
Smell them.
By smelling it, you don't even have to eat it. So that's a good and bad thing. It's good because it's very delicious. It's bad because it horrifies me.
And it makes you not want to go back.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where we're at now.
Okay. So, are we going back?
No.
We're not going back.
No. It's not worth it to me.
Me either.
I feel so much better. Like I said, I'm taking out the weight loss or the measurements. I feel better.
I'm not taking out the weight loss and the measurements. If I had to get like a nail punched into me once a day to burn fat and build muscle at the same time, I'd give up feeling good to have that happen. Now, it's nice that this happens together, but I'd be eating dog poop in the backyard if it had me continually dropping fat and building muscle. So I'm glad things still taste good. For me, that counts. But either way, we are not giving that up.
No.
So, with this now in our repertoire, what are we doing?
Well, we always look for like the next level. Like, okay, this is working. So how far can we push this? So.
How far can we push it?
We're going to see.
Okay. So what are we going to do?
We are going to prep for a photo shoot.
Heck, yes we are. Okay. So what that means, because that's a strange sounding idea. What we're going to do is take the next 12 to 16 weeks. We're going to kind of play it out both with potential lockdowns, photographer bookings, everything we're doing. And we're going to try to get as lean and as jacked as we can get. And then we're going to do a professional photo shoot.
Yeah. which is not something I ever did, even when I was competing. Like, I'd get to that level and I never booked a photo shoot. It's just not my, it's not my forte.
I have never done that either. I am obviously not the looks in the relationship, so I'm not really the go get my picture taken professionally type. Nobody's been confusing me with a male model anytime recently.
Maybe.
But that is our plan. So what we're going to be doing from here, we're going to document for you what we do with our diet, what we do with our training, how we make those changes, and what happens to our body. Because we've made the changes we talked to you about in this video, like the changes to our body.
Doing nothing.
Yeah, without changing anything we're doing. Like, my arms are bigger, your legs are bigger, we're both leaner, not trying to manipulate our calories.
So now we're going to try.
Yeah, not changing our routine. So now we're going to like punch the gas. We realized we've got rocket fuel in the car.
Yeah.
And we're going to see how it drives. So that's what we're doing. If you have questions or comments about the photo shoot idea, about the kind of changes we're making, if there's things you want to make sure that we touch on for you, drop it below, send either of us a message, and we'll make sure we include it as we go forward. But if you want to come with us, we are off on the next adventure.
Yeah.
Now
Still
with
organic.
rocket fuel. Still organic. Still organic. And that's where we're headed. See you soon.